Let this man cook. Is this the worst draft that has ever been concocted in Dota 2's history? Our panel certainly seems to think so. I'll pose that question to you, Avery.
Wait, what? Is that what they said?
I mean, they didn't put it quite that way, but, you know.
The worst draft in history.
It was implied heavily by that panel that this is possibly one of the worst drafts of all time.
30 seconds to
What was the worst draft of all time?
Well, I mean, there's never been one that has been held as the worst draft, so it could be this.
It's definitely not. I'll tell you, it's not this. Like, I played with Eternal Envy for 2 years. It's definitely not this. I don't know what it was, but this is nowhere close.
Do you like the Liquid draft? Because the panel did not.
The battle begins.
I mean, maybe we're asking the wrong question, Austin.
Okay, what's the right question?
Does the draft like Liquid?
Well, seeing as I can't interview a draft to ask that question, I think we'll stick with...
Look, people always blame the draft,
like
man.
The draft.
It's always about the draft this, draft that, patch this, patch that. You know, what about play? With the word game before it. Gameplay determines whether you win or lose a Dota game.
Okay, but there is no gameplay to analyze
hero.
just yet. There's a draft to analyze.
Well, we're getting some gameplay right now. I think Quinn is going to demolish this lane, honestly.
Sure, it's TA versus Puck.
Yeah, and I think this is a matchup Quinn has played a lot. He's very comfortable with it. He knows how to win it. This should be in his comfort zone. I think this offlane should also be pretty comfortable for Gaimin. Maybe this is the one lane where Liquid can maybe find a cheeky kill with the level 2 or 3 maiden timing. But outside of that, honestly, we've kind of just seen Centaur farm these lanes, and worst case scenario, he can go and cut between the 3 and 5 if the Rubik wants to leave him alone. That's another route he can go. Or some sort of rotation out of Liquid, which maybe they don't want to make with a support duo that's pretty awkward to do it. Support Slardar, though, that's the real question mark on this game. Now, this is not the first time I've seen this. This is something that has happened in various patches in the past. And since this hero has just been bumped to first pick priority, I mean, it was probably inevitable that someone was going to bust it out.
Okay, sure.
Boxy can play some of these melee weird fours pretty well, so I have faith there. You know, he probably thinks he's playing Tusk right now. He's wondering where the Ice Shards is.
Yeah, but Liquid is no Falcons, you know? The rocking the double melee offlane. I'm not convinced they can make it work, but...
I mean, 33 is also pretty experienced in these like weird sacrificial lanes where you pull waves and do the shenanigans. He was one of the original, you know, Bat Rider, cut the wave, level 1. You don't even get to play me straight up offlane players. So I don't think this draft is that uncomfortable for Liquid, to be honest. Now, did they gain a lot by putting themselves in a position where these lanes are probably going to be rough? I don't know. I mean, there's a big question mark there. Like, where's the payoff in this lineup? I guess it's just the Slardar Lifestealer combination. If you can jump the Centaur or the TA, maybe you just burst them down and take the fight with the Radiance Lifestealer. That the evasion's really nice this game. And
can you ever really burst a Medusa, though?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're not jumping Deuce this game. You're jumping one of the other 2 cores. You're trying to burst them off the chain stun coil to deal with Stampede. If you disrupt some guy, he just comes back into the fray. There's main spells going down. Radiance burn on 3 cores that don't necessarily like it. I could see this game in draft lack a little bit of damage, too. Maybe that's one of the weaknesses. Yeah, their heroes are very tanky versus the Slardar jump, but Deuce lineups can sometimes fall off in scale. TA can sometimes have trouble entering the later fights when people have a bunch of survivability items, some Wind Wakers, some Halberds, whatever you want to get it.
Sure.
You wear out her BKB duration, she just melts. And then you have Rubik SD, which great heroes at dealing some mid-game spell damage, and, you know, Shadow Demon can scale here, but might also suffer versus this Lifestealer who, if you start with the Infest Bomb, they don't necessarily react the best, I guess. I don't know. Interesting lineup, but I don't think it's that one-sided, actually.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear it.
I mean, the lanes are. That's going to be a problem for Liquid. I don't know what they're doing in this laning phase. I don't know what Boxy's doing in his laning phase. I don't know if he knows what he's doing in his laning phase.
Well, he's been just pulling creeps a whole lot. That's what he's been doing. Now he tries to open up the hard camp pull. Let's see if he can actually get that here. Looks like Gaimin Gladiators is going to be late getting to body block it, so They now have a hard camp pull available. That helps a lot when it comes to doing these lane shenanigans.
I mean, I assume the move for Boxy is to go bottom. Some point in the next 2 minutes. There really isn't anything for Liquid to do in this early game except tri-lane the lifesteal or look for 1 or 2 cheeky kills, maybe double contest that 7-minute wisdom rune with both supports and just out-skirmish the Rubik SD, because the supports can definitely do that in this game. But you can't rotate mid in this game. It's a dead zone. You cannot pressure Medusa, really. So where else do you have to go? I think it has to be this move bottom for Boxy, and he has to make it at the very right time to snowball this support duo into a position where you can contest some of these smaller objectives and put the Rubik SD on the back foot. Because if you just let Rubik SD enter the mid game here in even footing, Gaimin are going to be very happy in that situation. They're just going to have stronger spells around the level 6 mark.
Yep.
That's another problem for this support Slardar. Like, normally I think support Slardar can be okay if he doesn't need an item. Like, if he can just get level 6, amp some heroes up, and you have something like a Phantom Assassin that can play off the amplified damage, okay, I can see the value. If you have a lineup that can abuse early Roshans with the amp, okay, he can provide some value. He can get objectives or kills based on the team effort that can get him that gold. What the hell plays off amp this game? I don't know, man.
A rotation from Boxy to try and catch Quinn here.
This is not a thing.
Yeah, he'll do a little damage, maybe ease some of the pressure on Nisha, but he also soaks up. Okay, Quinn came back and will get burned through another refraction. Not that he's going to die, but it does put Nisha in a better position.
Yeah, I guess it helps him a little, but
they're probably securing 6-minute power rune as well.
it cost him a blood grenade. Now, I think that rotation was supposed to go bottom here. Like, maybe the Centaur's just too high HP, but this Rubik is a freebie, and you're still looking at first blood on the table. This Gaimin lineup can't really force the early action too much. They just want to farm on the lanes, get a really big TA, stack some camps with the SD Rubik to pay off later. If you give them first blood, you're going to be really sad, but this should be the point in the early game where this support duo can start to exert some pressure.
Oh no, a slow on Crystal Maiden. Just going absolutely nowhere. Gets the deny in the bounty rune at least, but does give up first blood to Quinn.
That's bad news for Liquid here. That is the last hero you want to be giving extra gold to right now off of you rotating supports.
Yeah, if TA gets ahead, that fixes the damage problems you were talking about before, right? Like, you're already set up for a good lane. If you manage to get some stacks out of Ancients, you get this fast, 2-3 item timing on TA, then that fixes all your damage problems you could possibly worry about.
I mean, this could be one of those TA games where it just 1v5s. Okay, you have Frostbite. You have some spells later that can burn Refraction, but the Shard on Templar Assassin's game is incredibly good. The puck matchup is just 90-10. The supports don't really stop Quinn on the map. If he gets aggressive traps up, can play around the vision, I mean, he can just have some solo kill potential in this game. He does not need much help from the supports. That's a big ticking factor here for Liquid, and you do not want to let this Templar Assassin snowball right now. You're going to be running around with some brown boot Slardar like, hey, anybody got an answer out here?
God, that is going to be quite depressing if that comes to fruition. Brown boots Slardar. At 7.5 minutes is wandering around, threatening some supports. But if they don't really start getting something out of their support duo soon, then this is what his game's going to look like 20 minutes from now.
Brown boots Slardar, that phrase sounds like a punishment. Like, if you don't step up this game, you're going to be playing Brown boots Slardar next time. But they did it to themselves. I mean, at least he can play around the river now. It's better than it used to be, 3 or 4 years ago. Even with Brown Boots, you're 500 MS. It's pretty good. We're going to see Gaimin start to invade around these TA traps. They are incredibly good this game. Oh, Invis.
Got him. Ooh, big pickup of the two supports rotate from Gaimin Gladiators. Get the kill on Nisha's puck.
Just did not expect that burst.
Now they can start doing some damage to the tower, maybe stack up a little bit for the TA as well.
This mid lane it's just a no-go zone for Liquid. And if you can't go mid in a game of Dota 2 in the year 2024, you're probably in trouble. You're going to have to make it up elsewhere.
But you can't go top. This Dusa is very farmed, has a lot of CS, is very tanky. The Slardar is just back there behind the tier 1 and tier 2 towers, farming up the jungle because he can't really help 33. In fact, 33 is going to be the one to die here as Quinn comes over for a quick last hit.
Gaimin getting everything they want out of this early game. Absolutely everything they want right now. And they don't have to play it fast. This is not one of the Gaimin lineups we saw from yesterday where they tried to run those games over by a 30-minute mark. This is a lineup you can play and farm. You can play it a bit slower. You're not going to force objectives super early. Switching that Slardar to support slows down that Roshan from Liquid a bit as well.
Ace has to have Stampede, so he's fine here, but they will force it out of him.
Is under attack.
I mean, I guess the one thing going for Liquid right now is they did find a lot of farm on that Doom. While all this movement has been happening, 33 able to recover, get an early Veil. He has the level 7 already, so he can join some of these fights. But he will have TP'd back top here after the death, which will create an opening for Gaimin on the 10-minute power rune. If they want to crash mid and try and deal with this puck a bit more or get some tower damage out. They know the Doom does not have response on the map right now. That's a big deal. He's your best team fighter.
No power runes for Nisha. It's just the difference between having this support Slardar that's not really doing anything for you, and even worse if he's missing his crushes out here. They're going to TP in, see if they can catch somebody out of this one. Disruption on 33. They want the bigger target. Crush lands onto Quinn, trying to slow him down. Help 33 get away from this big damage dealer that's coming his way, but here it comes. The melt hit, struts off, and now they've got him kind of boxed in. Nowhere he can really run to. Best he can hope for a neutral creep deny. That's not going to happen. The siege creep, I was like, what took the last hit the siege creep did? Cardi with the last hit. Well played.
Just throws out a headshot, walks back to lane, job done. Don't mind me, boys. He's still going. He wants more blood. He's tasted human flesh.
Watch out, Boxy. It's coming for you. 0-4, 3,000 net worth lead for Gaimin Gladiators. Very far up off the laning phase. And they're probably going to continue to stay ahead because we have a Blink Dagger on TA. So very likely, and also all the power runes you could ask for. They throw out a Coel, but that's useless. He's got an armor rune. Shield rune, so no damage to be done there.
I mean, look at our pressure to keep going mid, but I just don't think that play ever existed this game. I think your only window was maybe, you know, like pre-6 on the TA, you bring both supports on a double flank or a smoke, and you get that kill on Quinn, but even then, you're not going to slow down the rest of his game. I just feel like every time they go near mid, it's...
Oh no, Stampede!
It's tough for them.
They can't even throw out the orb to hit the Rubik because Nisha needs to protect his own life first, so that is going to be a Doom used on a support and doesn't even get the kill.
And Quinn's just going to start laning this tower. I mean, Doom down, Coil down. There's only so many resources you have to commit into this tower defense. And Quinn does not need to farm Ancients here because you have a Medusa to pick up that slack for you.
That's true.
So he's getting involved in kills. Just first item Blink Dagger, ready to fight. Double power rune up. He will get the last hit on the tower as well. Liquid continuing to search for anything in this game. Man, slapping some meat down there.
Dire are scanning. Radiant's bottom
Why
tower
did you
is
say
under attack.
Are you listening to
Why?
the sound? What is that sound?
Unnecessary. Infest. They're going to kill the Hellbear. He's going to pop out. Can he make it to the tier 2 tower? Hit by his own teammate's crush.
That's probably the most Slardar's done this game.
That is probably true. A negative
Vic get
impact
killed.
for Team Liquid.
And we see the Midas come out for the Doom. That about sums up what's happening right now.
And if they had a hard time killing anything, Liquid looking at Gaimin Gladiators hero, we now have a stolen Infest that could come into play, saving a hero next fight. So look for that. No neutrals for you, Nisha. Quinn's going to take all of those out. They've got some nice aggressive wards. They've got TA traps out all over the place. The map is closing rapidly. Team Liquid. There's the Infest. Okay, that maybe wasn't the move. Stolen coil though, but it's still gonna be the Rubik dying. Stampede goes out with a frostbite on him if they can hit the crush. Of course he doesn't hit the crush. It's just not quite fast enough as a brown boot Slardar.
This is where the flexes really hurt you sometimes. Like, I'm not saying Boxy hasn't done what he can do in this game, but you have a Tuskar there, you have an Earth Spirit there, you have a Hoodwink there. That's a guaranteed follow-up stun. And maybe you don't get that kill, but all these little things add up in a Dota game. And so it goes back to the question of, okay, you can give up some of those little plays, it's okay, but then what's the payoff down the road? This Slardar is going to have to pay it back at some point. As an Infest vehicle, a Roshan taker, a backline jumper, something. Because it's costing you a bit in this early game. You're down 4K, not irrecoverable. But the downside is this TA is going to infest your side of the map with traps. He's going to steal some of your camps. The Medusa, you're not going to see this Medusa for 15 minutes until he's 3 or 4 slot.
Yep.
Because you're going to have to go through the TA brick wall to get to him. Well, I mean, it is Dyrachio, so maybe you'll see him once, but Gaimin just farming up right now. And it does feel like the clock is ticking a little bit to get into this mid game in a solid enough position. Again, I don't think they're in too much of a rush right here.
Yeah, because they do have a TA lineup, so you're expecting early Roshan, right? And then you're going to start this cycle of it feels like they always have an Aegis that they're playing around. They already have a huge net worth advantage. They're going to go for 33 here with the Stampede, tries to use the Hurricane, stay ahead of the Stampede, but obviously there's enough slows and stuns. There's nowhere really he could go.
There's just no playmaker in this lineup. I mean, when your puck has to lane TA 1v1. Just testing it out.
Aiden, you good? You good there, dog?
It was a preemptive ulti.
Cold comfort.
Celery saw it, that's for sure. Boy. Those crushes really don't want to land, do they?
I mean, these coils also not doing a lot for Liquid. Throw it on the coil, Gaimin sit there. And I guess you can send the little Cobalt in.
Yeah, get him.
I mean, amp damage rune on Quinn means this Roche is completely open anytime they want it here. Doing it on the Dire side would probably be nice here as well.
The one playmaker, he's about to be online, but he's gonna get ganked again. He needs one more CS to get the Blink Dagger, but he's gonna die before it's picked up, so that will be delayed even further, and Insania will join him in a trip back to the fountain. So just get that Blink Dagger, okay. Got a Blink Dagger on the Rubik before the Doom. So they have 3 Blink Daggers on the side of Gaimin Gladiators before Liquid gets one.
I mean, what is Liquid?
Radiant's top tower has
What is their game plan right now? Is there a game plan? Was there? I mean, there must have been a game plan from the draft, right? But
I would certainly hope so. Yeah.
It does not feel like. And this has been the inconsistency in this team, especially in these Dream Leagues, man, where they just something happens to them in this tournament.
Radiant's middle tower
And we've already seen it in games this event, where like they look amazing in some games, world class, and other games it's.
Their Extreme series was super fun to watch. There was some high-level Dota there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Perfect, but there was definitely a lot of high-level Dota.
I just don't. It's just such a mystery how you can oscillate between these two ends, these two extremes, so quickly.
Doesn't that usually mean that you don't have a direction and identity? I feel like the teams that I see that oscillate like that have these very low floors and high ceilings, it usually means that they're just not sure where their place is in the meta.
It could be a meta thing, could be a patch thing. Hero pools definitely can affect it. It could also just be the tempo synergy between the core players that they haven't figured out yet. I mean, we've talked about it at length, like how does 33 fit in this lineup? They lost Zai, they lost Matumba. These were players that generally found a way to fit well together in terms of the pace they wanted to play the game. This team, a bit more of an enigma. What does that actually look like?
Yeah.
If Boxy is your driving force behind this roster, and he's the guy setting the pace, setting the calls, determining where you're going, when, and how fast, then the team kind of has to play through him. But if 33 is also a player who's like that, well, how do you mesh all of that together, right? And it just feels a little off. This is another one of those games where nothing really came together with this lineup. They're not out of it yet, but they're down 8K. And I mean, the bigger thing for me is I don't really even care if you're like losing a game of Dota. Honestly, it almost doesn't matter. It's, are you still trying to do things from that position? And this, it just doesn't feel like they've done anything.
Yeah, and a lot of that just comes down to draft, right? Like their heroes aren't enabled in this first 20 minutes. Now, we're soon going to get our Blink Daggers, and we're soon probably going to see Liquid making some plays. They're at least going to have their Doom Blink Dagger, maybe the Puck one.
Radiant's bottom tower
So maybe at that point in time, we'll see them try and be an active voice in this conversation, but
yeah, I'm not saying there's necessarily a lot of openings here. I mean, obviously they're a bit pigeonholed, but we saw that one smoke, 4-man smoke, didn't yield anything. I don't know, maybe you just try and sneak Roche on there or something with the amp, right?
Sure.
Like maybe get some deep wards, enemy triangle, and sit your Slardar Lifestealer there, look for some cheeky pick. I don't know. Like, you have to get creative in these types of games because your space is going to get closed off very quickly here in the next 5 or so minutes. The second Dyrachyo feels confident enough to start joining Gaimin on Liquid's side of the map, then I mean, your camps are just gone because you're going to have to make a choice of running into the Deucer or running into the TA. Maybe they're confident enough in 33 Doom with a Shiva's timing to be able to frontline against the physical damage.
He got spotted, and he's going to get caught before he can blink away. Toss back into Quinn. Quinn attempting to go for the Doom, but a blink away from Quinn. He knows there's reinforcements coming from the side of Liquid. He doesn't want to be the one to get doomed. He'll leave that to Ace instead, who's going to be left behind. So they train out offlaners here.
What?
What?
Wait, what?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
All right, hopefully we get a replay on that. What?
He TP framed Disruption?
And he also didn't TP into his fountain, he TP'd to his throne?
Well,
there's a series of weird things going on there. Hey, Dyrachyo's in the game.
Radiant's bottom
The Deuce has been farming away this entire time. Dyrachyo's gotten to a point where now he can be in an active force.
Oh, he's rage.
The rage, right. Yeah,
that makes sense.
We're old Dota players. It's hard to get used to that change.
I mean, it also looked weird because he TP'd there, though. Like, what?
Yeah, I know. Why is he TPing to his ancient, not his fountain?
I mean, that's the real old school aspect there, right? Like, you're double-clicking that and going straight to fountain.
Yeah.
There used to be a time where you couldn't, but
true.
Mickey's not that old a player. He's
okay, you're going to get stomped before you even touch the creep wave.
And they're not even doing Roche in this game. They're just taking everything they want.
Yeah, that's the wild part about this. It's the TA lineup that is dominating so hard they don't want to back off to a corner of the map and do Roshan. They're saying that gives Liquid too much space.
I mean, it is in theory correct. Like, the first Roche is honestly not worth anything if you can't die anyway.
Yep.
What is the point? Like, this is worth way more than going and doing Roche. Every time. Liquid just looking for their Lifestealer Radiance here. Shiva's on the Doom, and I mean, that's going to be as good as it gets in this game. You're going to have to make something happen with that double core item timing if you can get to it. And if you're going to do Roche here as Gaimin, you just spend 1 or 2 to it.
Oh, they know.
Get a little rage steal.
They're going to chase him away again. Think he was hoping to be able to farm that triangle to a point that he has that Radiance. Instead, they're going to go back into their Tormentor, an advantage that Slardar does give you, right? This is something that we saw Falcons put to use really, really well. They took both Tormentors in 20 minutes. Here, a support Slardar can always give you a very fast Roche-taking mechanism with just 2 heroes, so that's kind of an interesting, unique idea to it.
Yeah, that's nice, but you're about to have a Butterfly Medusa walk down one of your lanes in about 2 or 3 minutes.
Sometimes you gotta look at the bright side of life. At least you'll have a shard before your barracks dies.
Do you have to look at the bright side of life, man? I feel like that's a bullshit saying, to be honest.
I mean, you know, you don't have to. You could choose to be miserable if you want.
Yeah, just close the blinds and play Dota all day.
Yeah, that's called depression.
Oh, that's what that is, huh? Well, I wouldn't have known. It was a career for me.
Yeah, yeah. Radiance is done.
This game's depressing.
Yeah.
Tell you that much. This is one of those Dota games you're playing it going. You're secretly in your mind. I hope we lose soon. So I don't have to play this out anymore.
God, I hope they go high ground soon.
Hey guys, when's that patch coming? You think it's coming right after this game?
That's right, the patch coming today, surely. Right? Faster the games are over, the faster the patch comes. That's what Reddit says.
Liquid's just doing some fan service right now.
Speed running an elimination out of DreamLeague.
Well, they got the Radiance.
They get better at it every season, you know?
That's true, they are improving. If you're looking for a speed record, they're getting better.
Not going to be able to infest, I don't think, unless he does. Tries to go for a
dude.
TP out and does do the armlet toggling well enough to get out of there. Well played, Mickey. Man, he has had some stellar performances today. The rest of Liquid, maybe not so much.
Okay, yeah, that was a beastly armlet toggle, but the misses here from Quinn. Like, this guy needs some glasses or what, man? He missed like 7 out of 9.
That was pretty bad. He had an amp damage.
That was absurd.
Oh, he got the Shivas on 33.
That's what I was saying.
Doesn't quite. Okay, now they still go for the initiation anyway. Boxy's coming in from behind. Hits him with the dust. And TP's out. No, he doesn't. He cancels his TP. Boxy's plays continue. The high ground backstab. Now he's going to run out into double trap and get 3-shot by Quinn. The enthralling tales of support Slardar continue.
I honestly wonder what his hero damage is in this game.
Oh no.
It might be the lowest hero damage game of Boxy's career. Like, I'm not saying that to be mean, but like, it might be. I just don't know what he was supposed to do in this.
Is he going to get over 1,000 damage?
Well, yeah, he has over 1,000.
Oh, okay.
Let me see it there. Good try, Austin.
I was just thinking of that.
The only thing I saw
Magnus game
was the tri-lane bottom at like the 5-minute mark, and you kill Rubik twice. And maybe that opens up the Wisdom Rune steal in this game. Like, that's the only thing I saw that maybe can happen in this game. I don't even know how reliable that is.
Yeah.
I don't think there were any other openings. I don't think the openings existed on the other 2 lanes at any point in that early. Very tough position. He will get the Blink Crush, though. On to Celery.
They're going to go for Celery, but Stampede is getting him away. They're going to invest inside the Slardar. The Slardar is going to try and sprint run him down.
Go to the Slardar.
Does manage to get the TP out. They do manage to get the Shadow Demon. Knee shot back to the fountain as well.
They lost him. No, they got the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, they got the Shadow Demon.
I said
he infested inside the Slardar to sprint run him down.
Okay, so they did
I had it all in my head.
There we go.
You listen to the commentary,
There's the
you'll
payoff.
know what happens. Don't worry.
There's the payoff, ladies.
Hey.
They got him. That's where you play that Saberlight clip. Suck it, Celery. Do we still have that? I don't know.
We lose that one?
You know production's looking for it right now. They're going through the files. Where's that damn clip? I know we got it here from season 14, 8 years ago.
Yeah, that clip will... That clip is timeless. That clip can be used 5 years from now. All right, one final push for Gaimin Gladiators. Let's see if they can get 4 more kills, too.
All right, who do you doom here? I think you doom Templar Assassin.
Well, last time he doomed Shadow Demon.
Got him.
And he gets out the Doom on the Templar Assassin, you're right, and Mickey doesn't quite yet die. He gets the Infest off, so he's going to start healing up a little bit.
Oh, he has BK.
Insania marching forward with the Freezing Field. A silence to stop the stomp that was going to stop the Freezing Field.
They got
keeps
him.
going, and they get the kill. Now an orb forward. Boxy was keeping them close to the chest. See if Liquid can continue to chase down these heroes.
He has no
Duracio's
mana.
running out of mana. He could actually die here. Duracio's low. They have to fight through this butterfly, though. They need more magic damage. They finally get him. Liquid. They get 1 kill, 2 kills, get a 3rd. Holy cow. A comeback in the making here for Liquid. The last stand, the last barracks gives them a chance at winning a fight, and they pull through. They get 3 kills, looking for a 4th. At Blink Dagger, Slardar Crush, it's coming up.
I don't know if you want to go in there.
Do it!
I think I think you take what you got here. Well, they're going to look for
Oh, keep going. Oh, you've got nothing left to lose. This game
4 kills.
was absolutely done for Liquid. You might as well go for as much as you can after...
I mean, that's a big gold swing. It's like 5K gold.
Yeah.
Didn't lose the Megas. Parasma now on the puck.
They got, yeah, that Parasma is a really big pickup.
Plus the Shiva's guard. I mean, you have some spell amp, you have some damage to work with now. Was this the plan all along? Lure them into a false sense of confidence. Hey guys, look at this starter. He hasn't done anything all game. Let's go high ground. Dumbass. Never go high ground.
Never go high ground. That is the rule of Dota 2. You do not go high ground. All right, level 20 Templar Assassin. Pick up a shard for Tofu, so now they have an additional save. We talked about that on the panel we had.
Can we get the hero damage again, please? We're gonna have the hero damage stat. 3.4, he doubled it in that fight. Woo. God damn. This man's a monster. He's level 14 now. What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, he's got the shard, Blink's dagger, he's got the talent now.
It's the same level as the Gaimin supports.
So if he actually, they could do the Infest combo, they could do the Crush, they'll have the Corrosive Haze on them.
Oh, you
right
cannot
away.
afford to die here. Nisha! That would have been a dieback.
The Meld Strike was coming in, but it doesn't quite land fast enough, Nisha.
And he took Defiant Shell here just for some armor.
Yeah.
Gossamer Cape as well. I mean, but they are getting some items here. Like, they got their Shiva's Radiance timing. They took that fight. They got to the Halberd on 33. They're maxing up the neutral items. They have 3 Craggy Coats. Did I see that correctly? I don't think I've ever seen a team with triple Craggy Coat.
That is awesome.
That is pretty nice here.
If you activate it in fights, that's a bonus 20 armor from when you didn't have that item.
I mean, they're itemizing very well in this game.
Yeah.
Not that it's like, super hard, but you're going to make the TA's life pretty miserable in these fights. You just keep stacking the armor, stacking the disarms.
The long smoke wrap around. They're going to break on Tofu. Tofu blinks back.
This is a very hard high ground.
Now they're running into a high ground ward plus double TA traps.
You have to find an angle on the supports here or something. You cannot charge into that ward.
Boxy, maybe he finds it on Celery.
We got 3!
Jump in, 3-man crush! An immediate follow-up there from Nisha as he jumps in, now throws out the coil on some of these heroes. Now, Mickey's got to play the long con here. He's got to start backing out. Quinn's going to chase after him, though. He uses Infest to get into the fight. The misses keep on raiding in. The Arblet toggles the misses. No, the Shadow Demon Purge will finish him off, but they've got Dyrachyo. Dyrachyo's dead. They were chasing after Mickey the entire time, but they finished up Dyrachyo. Now another Crush comes in. Ace, Nisha's going to clean him up. No problem. The Orb is going to be able to run in through.
The hell's happening?
Another fight.
What a sick angle and entry into that fight. I mean, you cannot ask for anything more from a forward position Slardar right now as Boxy finds 3 on the Crush amp. Just sets everything up to get Mickey in here. This Radiance has done so much work. The Craggy Coats. The Craggy Coats.
Yup.
Were they the turning point as Quinn's... This guy needs MKB. He needs it bad. Because, yeah, you get the Lifestealer kill, but it costs you so much on the backside of this fight. A full channel freezing field. They lock Medusa in the Doom under that Stone Gaze used earlier, and...
It was also Heaven's Halberded, so he got Daedalus, but he was disarmed for most of it, and he was doomed.
How did that go? How is this game going so wrong for Gaimin? 20k gold lead, Roshan control, 2 lanes of Rax's, high ground vision, trap vision. They have saving turnaround supports with decent frontline, but you put a couple Craggy Coats on a fish, and the man gets the job done. And now he's looking at Roshan.
Oh, this is so big. TA lineups, man, they live and die off of these Aegis. Just over and over again. You run the Aegis up into a high ground push.
This is not a Roshan they can afford to give up, I want to say.
They don't have a choice in it. They're not going to be able to get here in time. Not thanks to the Corrosive Haze.
And does Quinn have MKB? He does not. He's still short the gold.
God, their damage really sucks for it. If it wasn't for Slardar, they would not be able to do this Roshan. And they're going to get Boxy before the Roshan even dies. It finally dies. He gets a nice crush there, and they get vision of all these heroes. Liquid is getting out, though.
Super happy with that trade. Slardar dead for 50, but you get everybody else out. You get a banner, you get an Aegis, and you're going to get time to get to another Halberd here, potentially. On the Lifestealer, again, the itemization here from Liquid has been 100% on point. You nullify the physical damage output from this TA and Medusa, and I go back to the crux of the gaming lineup. The biggest issue I have with it is where is the damage if you solve that problem? Like, there is none.
Yeah, you're never going to get a source of magic damage from Gaimin Gladiators. So
you will not.
Liquid can just all in on armor. And they also are getting a big damage bump up very, very soon. They are going to get Aghanim Scepter on Nisha. Imagine that if Boxy hits another one of those 3-man crushes and you have a coil on top of that, you're dumping all of those right clicks in from the puck thanks to the Aghanim Scepter. That's a lot of damage you're going to be throwing in.
I mean, I don't know where this momentum came from, but Liquid have found it. And they found it right when they needed to. And now all of a sudden, I don't think this game is nearly as comfortable for Gaimin as it was 10 minutes ago. They're continuing to have more map control, continuing to find runes, but...
You know what's crazy? Dota Plus has said this has been 100% over for like the last 5 to 10 minutes. They said this game is done, and even still does not give Liquid hardly any chance to win this game. It just keeps on going up to 1%. They say they went from 0% chance to a 1% chance to be able to win this game.
I mean, yeah, that
doesn't feel that.
That's not even close.
Yeah.
Well, honestly,
what would you give it?
I honestly think Dota Plus overrates certain carries.
Yeah, Dusa, Spectre.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it understands the current status of late game Dota anymore because it's too whacked. It just gives up at a certain point.
But what would you give it? Do you think this is like, it's not quite a dead even game, right? But it's like, what, 70-30?
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad, honestly. I think Gaimin need to find some answers to these halberds, to the armor, or at least get some of the spells off
on the poison. They're going to get a disruption. Jump in from Ace. Hits the stomp on at least the Doom, stopping him. He throws out the Doom before he dies onto the Templar Assassin. But they had already gone through the gate on one hero.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Nisha's going to TP back to base. So now Gaimin Gladiators have a chance to go high ground again if they want into the Aegis. But with the Doom down, they could force a buyback at least.
Yeah, they're going to run down this lane. That is more than enough time to force this issue. Yeah, you have your Aegis, but Quinn finished MKB. That was the biggest item, the biggest answer in this game. You got the BKB for Dyrachyo now too, so both cores getting their answers to what Liquid have proposed here that brought them back into it. And this is the real scary fight because, yeah, maybe your TA Dusa are not going to scale too much more past this as they're getting slotted, but right now, you have that evasion pierce on the Templar Assassin. It's pretty damn terrifying. You need to stall this push out. You need to use this Aegis well. By time for your Doom to come back. See how much Gaimin want to force it. Like, do you want to jump in here is the question.
Telekinesis are going to try and burn through this HP initiation from behind. Catches the Rubik. Almost instantly takes him out of the fight. He's still stuck in the coil, but he does get a bit of a heal there. And he's going to be okay for now. Actually infests inside of Quinn to be able to get away, and the Stone Gaze allows them to full reset. So that's a buyback Doom where they did not get the initiation. 33 still struggling to get it. He's not going to be able to get it at all.
Another
the crush comes in from behind, though. The supports just get melted. A freezing field instantly gets canceled as silence comes through from the TA trap. Mickey is fighting for his life here against 3 different cores. He's got an extra life to be able to work. He came back in, almost immediately dies again. Finally, Mickey goes down. Immediate buyback as Doom comes back into it.
Yeah, but what's he going to do? He has no Doom.
Yeah, he has no heroes to be joining him alongside of this play. They're getting here soon, but he might just die before they even arrive. 33, a couple more shots from Quinn. They finally go down, but they get on top of Dyrachyo. Dyrachyo will now die. He is the person who doesn't have buyback.
Is this enough for Liquid to repel Gaimin here?
Nisha's going to chase after and collect whatever more heroes they can get. A dieback there onto Tofu. A lot of buybacks being used there. Some on Gaimin Gladiators, a lot on Liquid.
3 buybacks out of Liquid, but yeah, double buyback out of Gaimin. 2 supports for 2 supports and a life stealer, so it really only costs Liquid Mickey's buy here. They're looking for more.
Boxy trying real hard to make this infest. given an opportunity to get a kill, but both these heroes are pretty damn tanky.
He's so tanky. What the hell?
What's going on? Okay, now they finally go for the Infest pop out and get the kill on the Centaur. Can Mickey get out of here? It seems like it's fine. No problem.
I mean, another exchange that's worth it for sure, because you get that Slardar dieback timer on cooldown now.
Sure, in this like dead period where nobody's taking objective.
And you exchange it for another big core kill. So honestly, the end outcome, not too bad for Liquid, considering that was that MKB, BKB timing.
Yep.
And you had that Doom dead for the start of it. Very awkward fight. I mean, not getting the momentum they wanted to crawl back in this game, but they're holding it at a standstill, getting some more chances. They still have a puck buyback to work with. I mean, what else can you build up here in the meantime? It feels like they need the BKB on the Doom. I think that's the biggest thing here. Ags for Mickey, you get a disarm on one of these heroes. Going to be pretty solid, but I think 33 just needs his Black King bar.
Or maybe he just waits, lets everybody else initiate. Then in that chaos, he's able to get off the Doom. I mean, feels like the last couple of fights, he's trying to start the fight with Doom.
I mean, the crushes have been going out pretty much simultaneously. It's just, when he goes in, you're going to get stone gazed at some point, and he's just getting chain stunned off that. There's a Centaur Stomp, there's some stolen spell off the Rubik, there's a Trap Silence going out. He just needs BKB to guarantee he can get a Doom off on an important target, at least near the start of the fight here. I mean, you're looking for one of the cores, but if you get the Shadow Demon before he throws his spells out, you'll probably take that as well. More importantly, you just need to get the Shiva's Guard on as many heroes as possible. It's a big damage amp for the fight. Gives a lot of vision for Nisha to go in. Both teams looking towards this next Roche now. I don't think Gaimin are in a position they want to go high ground without it. They are starting to scale up Ace a bit more here as these two of their cores are peaking. You know, we talked about the damage issues. Centaur can be a late game damage source when he gets that 5 or 6 slots. Especially with the double-edged shard. Just start building up the stacks. You have 8,000 HP. What are you going to do about me? But the Ag's done for Mickey, so they have another disarm mechanism. And man, even with the MKB, Quinn is having trouble hitting people. There's just so much evasion, Ghost Scepters, the Craggy Coats, the Halberds, the Shiva's armor. It's so much to get through here. Infest Bomb.
Got the pop. Got the kill on Tofu. The Stampede allow Ace to get away without further casualties, but this sets up for Roshan. If it's a fast Roshan, Liquid might just be getting it for free.
And this is where the support Slardar does not feel like a liability anymore.
No.
As much as it was in this game. He's just pure value now. Like, he's going to go in, give you that initiation vehicle for the Slardar, and he's going to do it as a support. Which means even if he gets stuck in the middle of everything and goes down after he uses utility, you still have 2 other cores to back him up. Yeah, level 20, he has fully recovered in this game. He's annoying for them, man.
Kind of surprised he didn't take the minus armor talent just because he's a vehicle for the Lifestealer. But, I mean, if this build definitely pays off. You get to that later, like that, you know, like Ag's Octarine build, where you're just crushing every 3 seconds for a ton of damage.
Helps you farm too. There's something to be said for wave clearing and pushing out camps.
Sure. Roshan is going to be pretty fast, but Gaimin Gladiators will have their full 5 up to contest this Roshan. And Liquid are not in a position around the pit just yet. In fact, it's looking like Gaimin Gladiators are going to get that Roshan. Liquid just don't seem to be in a position, really, to contest. They're all over the map. Are they wanting Gaimin Gladiators to go high ground again?
Radiant are scanning.
I don't think you ever just give up Roche from a strategical position of now they're going to go high ground.
That's what they're doing. Am I wrong?
I think they just didn't feel confident with the way the lanes were set up. Like, that's not an easy Roche to just sit there and force when your 2 other lanes are getting shoved in off 2 Raxes that have been taken and your 3rd one's exposed.
They have this lane wards.
Once again, though, they're on the clock on this fight as the lanes are all going in. They want the backstab here. They want the Shadow Demon. They want the Rubik. Get a numbers advantage.
Smoke breaks on Insania. Stampede immediately goes out. Ace tries to find what he can. Goes forward with the Shivas and finds Insania. Doesn't quite get that kill. There's the jump in. Mickey immediately got the kill on the Shadow Demon. So no disruption is going to be here. Now he's trying to finish off the Centaur. Keep on top of this tanky horse. See if he can finish him off. The Stone Gaze is causing a little bit of issues. Going to pop the Manta, try and get away. And he helps for Mickey. Mickey, the shot's coming in. Again, he's trying to arm the jump. What are these misses? Oh my God. How does this keep on happening? Now he's got an Infest again. He can start healing up if he wants to. He's going to go back inside Boxy again. They've already burned through the gate with Dyrachyo. He's going to come back.
He's full.
They're going to chase after him. What is Boxy going to jump on?
He wants the back line.
Shiva's trying to get some vision. Okay, that's going to be 33, instantly dying, but it gave the initiation to Boxy to get on top of Quinn. They're going to try and burn through this refraction. He's got so many charges, but they burn through, eat through it, almost dead. A little bit more, and they finally got him, but he gets the blink away. He actually somehow gets out of here, and Mickey is trapped in hell as Dyrachyo is raining down arrows on the entirety of Liquid, and that is game. Far closer than it looked 20 minutes ago. But Liquid put up one hell of a fight for last 15, but they just couldn't do it in the clutch. Gaimin Gladiators get their victory after all. To and say, anything you can do, I can do better. Support Slardar, we're running it, and we're gonna beat you with it. Avery, what do you think? Are you a support Slardar hater? I'm not.
No, I actually like it.
Okay.
I think it's been better than it's looked for a long time. I mean, the problem with it this patch is Core Slardar is just so strong, you just devalue the hero automatically, which kind of sucks.
Sure.
But I think Darkseer is a good enough reason to do that. If you think Darkseer
can he catch up for the battery assault? The Blood Grenade is going to come back, and the Nightmare will separate Celery from 33. They will not be able to get that first blood they were looking for. In fact, if anything, Liquid may go for the punish here. You don't want to necessarily go up to that high ground.
30 seconds.
But they can throw some damage back on this low ground for sure.
I mean, Ace does not want to throw out too many shells here for some useless fight that does not yield a first blood, because he's just going to go to lane with half mana, and that is not what you want on Darkseer. But he has 2 melee supports to work with this game. Clock probably the fastest in the entire game, honestly. It used to maybe be an Earth Spirit or a Tiny or something, but both those heroes have pretty much fallen out of the meta.
The battle begins.
So I think Clock is the fastest now, and Slardar, maybe not the best shell user, but this hero is just a beast right now.
They're going to go for Ace. Ace, throw as many Ion Shells as you want, man. You're getting full mana. Now, that Ion Shell on Tofu will help him, as will manage to get a kill back, but obviously the first blood is the big pickup. The support's the ones who claim the last hits on both sides. Now, support Slardar, Tsunami did point this out. It is a support Slardar and a Darkseer against Enchantress. Both Ion Shell and Sprint are dispellable, and Enchantress has a dispel. This seems like a bit of an oversight.
It's more playable than it used to be, I think. But yeah, this matchup is pretty good for Ench on the lane. She has some counter gameplay. Flip side is you can just all-in her with double shell back. Okay, maybe you dispel one, but if you get crushed into vacuum with another shell going, it can be problematic. And ultimately, they're not picking this Darkseer to crush the lane. Like, they're picking this Darkseer because they feel as though Darkseer will be the ultimate carry in this game. You're going to be able to create Dragon Knight illusions, Terrorblade illusions. Viper doesn't really deal well with getting backed into a wall with a bunch of the mosh pit on top of him and a bunch of shell damage. Like, Darkseer is incredibly good this game. It is just downright destructive for Liquid's cores. So if Ace finds the farm and he gets really big, I think he is king of the hill in this game too. That's a good enough reason to pick the hero. The rest just comes down to execution. But Liquid definitely have way more openings this game than they do the first one. Boxy's going to have a lot more gameplay. The support should be pretty strong in these early skirmish points. If you don't give away some bad kills here or there, this early game should be a lot more stable and a lot more solid for you, which means maybe you can start to get those crazy team fights we saw in Game 1 going at a earlier pace for you than when you had to bring them out there in desperation mode.
Boxy being super aggressive in his positioning this game. I mean, you start off that bounty rune play trying to get onto the enemy side of the map, see if you can steal away a bounty. Now he's just playing up in Dyrachyo's face. Actually so far away from Celery, because Celery's trying to do the same to 33.
I will say the mid rotations are probably going to happen more frequently this game.
Okay.
I think Liquid, once more with the Dragon Knight, they always want to rotate to this hero. They have Enchantress to do it as well. I would be very surprised if Liquid do not make a 6 to 8 minute type rotation into that mid lane and look for either a catapult usage on top of DK ulti, some sort of pressure going into the Enchantress, force Gaimin to respond to you. The flip side, you also have a Leshrac in that mid lane that Gaimin can play around. If you can maybe shell a support, TP him mid, surge him at the last minute, there is some gameplay there.
Yeah.
Not as easy to execute, but it's possible. And Quinn has done very well in these early waves in that mid matchup.
Oh, that was so close. He almost got that Lotus, but now the Nightmare cancels it. The Lotus goes over to Liquid, and Liquid gets a lot of damage back on a Celery.
This should be a free farm lane for 33 though. I don't see Klink's Clock pressuring him past level 3 here. I mean, he takes a Breathe Fire, but he has some extra tangles to keep him up. So this should be, again, a much stronger laning phase for Liquid, and they're already showing it. Creating a lot of pressure here, early waves. And Quinn goes down in the solo kill. The stacks built up. I was saying he was doing very well in these early waves. I mean, he's 19-4 on this Lesh. And he got the assist gold off that river fight. So he was having a very good early game here, but Nisha don't miss uphill apparently, whereas Quinn missed everything last game.
He hit 3 different times from the low ground to high ground.
Maybe one would say a little unlucky, the other would say a little skill. Nisha definitely gonna take that. Big solo kill to get. Now, this is a matchup where you want the lead with the Viper. So you can just punish Leshrac in those mid-game fights.
Yeah, the early part of the matchup is better for the Leshrac, right? But now it starts getting more and more Viper favored. Boxy gonna be run down. The creep wave to his assistance will soak up some of the battery assault hits and allow him to live.
I mean, this solo kill could also be big because it's going to open up those mid rotations down the line. Boxy's just going to feed away a bad death here. That is not one he had any need to give up.
Nope.
And it's going to result in a bunch of regen trade off of 33 as well. More free farm for the Klinks. As I was saying, like, you're in a position now where you're guaranteed going to chip a lot of this Leshrac's HP. You're going to force early regen out of him. That mid rotation is going to be opened up. Just a question of how much can you get on these silence to enable it. I'm going to try and poke down Tofu or maybe just kill him outright. God damn that damage.
Yeah. That was some heavy damage back over to bottom lane where the battery assault on 33, but the turnaround kill the Clockworks. No more battery assault there. Okay.
If Liquid can start to pick up the pressure on these side lanes, just burn out regen or get these kills like that, it will also open up the roaming from the Enchantress. So these are big exchanges for them to try and set their next 5 minutes up, and we're already seeing Boxy rotate through the jungle right now.
Yeah, because
Enchantress heading towards mid. I mean, this gank is coming.
You have to imagine the Clockwork is going to do the same off that death, right? He's going to TP in, refill the bottle, try and secure the power runes, but Liquid know this was coming, and they immediately go for the strike, the backstab from behind. They take the first step. They bring down the Leshrac, and they'll get the kill on Celery. Celery, it looks like, too, unless the Cogs can somehow create some space, and that's just not possible. Double kill for Nisha, and power rune secured.
Perfect timing on that gank. You have the catapult wave, you have the level 6 versus 5 advantage. That solo kill for Nisha just sets all that up. And now you get a power rune to boot. Really nice opening sequence here for Liquid, and this is what we expect from this team in the early game. Some structure, some support combinations, some quick moves, good momentum-based gameplay. Get a 7-minute Wisdom Rune right now, you're going to be cooking.
Radiant are scanning.
And of course, you can just leave this Dragon Knight alone, but you can also rotate to him.
He actually get this kill. It's a little hard. Dark Pack, Darachi got so much HP. Enchantress comes in for the extra. Darachi almost has his Dark Pack back up. He needs to get to a creep to eat it, and he finally does. Gets that extra HP, 33. Still trying to chase him down, but he actually got to level 5, which gave him another stack. He eats another creep, and it gets back up to full. Boxy dies in the trade-off with Tofu, and they try and run down Insania. Insania's got the heal going, so maybe it's not worth it to chase. Certainly not going to be getting that kill anyway.
Man, I cannot believe he lives there.
Celery,
that's brutal.
It's a Viper on top of you.
Yeah, what was he looking at?
Well, Wisdom Runes do get traded out, so nothing there. I did see there was some sort of attempted aggressive play, but didn't work.
Caught him sleeping, quite literally. Matchup still not fun for Quinn, still not level 6, so he can't go into the jungle yet. At least efficiently. And Liquid continue to control the vision around mid. The D ward there going to limit Quinn's ability to read these moves even more. Double obs up around mid lane for Liquid.
Go for the kill on 33, but a Dragon Tail defends against the stun of Tofu. Did you see what happened, by the way? Boxy dragged a range creep with him, and it followed him up the high ground, so they knew where the word was.
Ah, very nice. And Gaimin, I mean, they're just trying. That's going to be another free D ward. It cannot keep the vision control at all. Liquid support's all over it right now. I think that's the third obs to go down around this mid lane. That's a lot of golden XP you're giving away as well.
Got him after the surge. Nisha will come in to try and collect the kill. Nightmare actually put on them for a second here, and maybe that one extra hit, maybe he could have gotten in, might have resulted in the kill in the Darkseer. Instead, he's not going to get it. Stomped on 2 from Insania. But Mickey is here just trying to get Boxy out of the situation, as Durachi is trying to chase him down with these tar bomb hits. Maybe one more? Yeah, he had wand charges. He did get Insania as well, so Liquid attempting to get an invasion into that triangle. Gaimin Gladiators respond with every single hero that they have and get 2 kills for it.
And you gotta remember, this early game was Liquid's to dominate. So if Gaimin can pull out of these little fights on even footing or get a couple cheeky kills, get some XP for their supports, they're pretty happy with that. They just want to get Ace as farmed as possible, and then he can enable the supports in this game. So they don't need some super fast game on this clock starter. They're going to have Shells and Surge to play with if they're a little bit behind. They just need some good boots, you know, phase boots, tranquil boots. It's good enough to enter the fight here. And Durachi is going to start getting active. Try and do a little enabling of his own.
Mickey tries to come in and help, but Quinn is also joining this fight, so Mickey needs to just get out of here, go farm some jungle, and Gaimin Gladiators will take the tower.
Very efficient edict. Get a kill straight into a tier 1. All of a sudden, this Lesh is starting to pull back a bit. Though he does not get the last hit. That's a little embarrassing right there.
Nisha will take his tower in return, so it's a trade-off. Very even games so far, net worth-wise. They have the top 2 on Gaimin Gladiators cores-wise, but Leshrac is struggling so much that it balances out the scales. And now they're going to go for the bottom tower. I'm not sure if Gaimin Gladiators really want to contest anywhere the Dragon Knight Viper are together.
No, I don't even think Liquid needed to bring people down here. I think 33 was going to get this no matter what. I mean, it's not bad that they did. It'll pick up the pace here. But I agree, I don't think Gaimin had any inclination to really defend this with a full-on fight.
Yeah, Durachi shows up just to kill the catapult, which kind of slows things down, but he could do that pretty safely. Hey, maybe.
No, this is just not a fight for them. Maybe you get the deny with the illusion? It's actually kind of close.
Caught Boxy in the mid lane, but Nisha goes for the punish onto the Leshrac. Committing to kill him, and they've got him. They'll run him down and get the kill on Celery. So Boxy's death certainly not in vain. This time it's Liquid's turn to bring everybody to the field.
Nice rotations from them. They have the freedom to do it this game, and they're making the most of it. Really punishing Quinn for this pick. They got their value out of that Dragon Knight flex for sure. With a really nice Viper pick, it's going to be top position for Nisha coming out of this laning phase. Should be able to transition with it as well, because he has Terrorblade to shove the waves. He has some aggressive supports to play with him. And he can scale in this game.
Everybody doing a bit of farming right now. Power runes coming up.
I guess the downside for Liquid here is they don't have some easy playmaker. There's no real clear initiation power in their lineup. It's just kind of been all these weird angles, get on the enemy side of the map. But a lot of that does slow down in the mid game. You don't just completely take the game over, which is not the case here. They're maybe gonna have to play this a bit slower. This might be a little too much to give away, though.
Yeah, that is a lot of stacks. Is Liquid stacked at all?
Not much.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
They've been the aggressor here, which, you know, you don't want to be stacking with Enchantress. You want to be killing with Enchantress. You want to be taking towers. They got some of that done. This game slowing down now, though, is giving Gaimin a chance to just farm back up. They're getting their utility on Ace. He's already level 10. That is huge for them.
Got the hook shot first. There are a lot of heroes here. Maybe he can get the kill on Boxy, though, before he dies. And he does. So Celery gets that much for them.
I mean, again, Gaimin's happy with these kind of trades. It does a lot for their double melee support duo. Tofu's getting a lot of space off this. He's going to have a pretty fast blink in this game. And that blink crush is a bit stronger when you have an Ion Shell on top of you and a Darkseer to back you up if the fight collapses on you. You send the Slardar in first, he crushes somebody, you amp the Viper, maybe he tanks a couple spells. The bigger factor is if Liquid clump around that initial target, the fight gets set up for Ace later on. And he's going to clean house if he gets the Terrorblade or the Dragon Knight stuck on that wall. There's no real disjoint for it right now, and these are not heroes that want to buy early BKBs. You're probably looking at Manta styles here. Perhaps across the board, it might even just be triple Manta cores at some point in this game.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy to think about.
Boxy's still looking for his Fiend's Grip pickoff somewhere.
I mean, I don't know if he's going to find that. There's not a lot of easy damage follow-up for it. Honestly, not the greatest Bane game for him in terms of like synergy with the lineup.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot to, you know, take advantage of a sleep setup. Like, what are you sleeping somebody into?
Yeah, it almost makes me wonder if this could have been a game where you go Boots of Travel, Viper.
I thought you were going to say Boots of Travel, Bane. I was getting excited there.
Yeah. I mean, just the fact that Liquid teams, they want to group up, right? And they're obviously going to get split pushed by Clanks and Darkseer. Like, they need to be able to have a way to get around the map quickly.
Maybe there's an argument for it, but I think that Boots of Travel is going to feel real bad when you have to take the 5-on-5 against Darkseer. It's 2k gold just doing nothing for you. So you have to prepare yourself for that. Because you're not stopping Ace right now. Level 11. Greaves on the menu pipe, in fact, almost done here as he opts for that first. Kind of interesting. Doesn't strike me as the greatest pipe game, but does reduce some of the Viper's impact. And that's about it. I almost would have thought you just go the Greaves into like Blink Ags or something. Pipe is an expensive item now. Pipe is not the cheapest aura item.
It's a pretty valuable Lotus game as well, right?
Yeah.
There's all of Bane plus some single target spells.
I mean, even Force Staff is not bad this game. Like, being able to force the Leshrac out of a DK stun, out of an Ench slow, or like the Viper stacks, it might even be more valuable than the pipe here, but never going to complain about a pipe on your team, especially if you get it this fast. DD for Nisha, they want to use it here. Again, initiation is kind of the problem for Liquid. They need to use the night vision from the Bane.
He's hidden behind the tree. Well placed, but 33 has a blink dagger to catch him, so he's going to die anyway, it looks like. The TPs are going to come in just a bit late. Ace tried, but...
Okay, yeah, blink for the DK solves that problem. Makes that move a lot smoother. He just died through the mech.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Viper demolishing point in this game right now. No real answer for him.
Got the hook shot with the Ion Shell. Now, is any follow-up going to be here in time? Tofu misses out on the crush, but he can still get it with the bash, and they got him. Plus the wall being laid out means 33 is now in trouble. Mickey is going to join him, though. They beat down the starter pretty quickly, and everybody from Gaimin Gladiators now is to back away. Don't want to fight into this Metamorphosis Terrorblade. Not right now.
Oh, Tofu was watching Boxer from last game.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you think you're good missing every crush by a couple inches? Well, I can do
Radiant's
that too.
bottom tower is
He
under
just
attack.
got his blink dagger like 5 minutes faster than Boxy did.
I'll show you how a real man misses a crush.
Tier 2 gonna fall, but it looks like Celery wants some allies to help him here. Not that he has hookshot yet. 5 seconds will do it, though.
I mean, you still have to be careful about these aggressive pushes or aggressive team fights as Liquid, because if you give the good opening for the Darkseer plus the double melee support here. Those are tough fights. Like, then Quinn might be able to get in there and do something.
Yeah.
If you're just fighting these open areas or situations where the DK can pick the initiation, it's a lot easier for you. Because Quinn's entry into the fight just isn't nearly as good. Nisha can just run in, you can start hitting the first guy you go on. Then all of a sudden, Gaimin has to run through that front line to try and find something. It becomes a lot more awkward. Full Vessel done for the clock. Pretty damn nice here. A lot of extra damage. And I think Gaimin are ready to go. They have everything they need right now. Slardar Blink, the auras on the Darkseer, they have his levels, Max Shell. This is where their lineup's going to hit their stride. These mid-game fights, it's all they want. They want the 5v5. Will Liquid give it to them is the question, or do you dodge?
You also have the Burning Barrage for the Clinks combined with Vacuum, right? This could be a very deadly Vacuum. You get some sort of Vacuum Cog situation, and these heroes are just stuck in all this AoE damage. Mickey, he runs into him here. They throw out the hook shot. They're going to go for it. The crush on 2. See if they can burst him down before the Sunder goes off. The Vacuum stop the animation of the Sunder, so they bring down the enemy carry. Gaimin Gladiators. Nice. Well played.
I mean, that's exactly who they wanted on this map. They just ran down mid and ran right into Mickey and get a kill. Honestly, I don't know if this is where Mickey wants to be on the map, but if you look at the vision right now for Liquid, it's pretty defensive.
Shard puts him on the wrong side of the high ground here. Maybe they can get a return kill.
33 gonna go in, he will.
The supports are pretty tanky, they don't die quite wide. Quickly, Nisha gets a little bit too far forward and they try and punish him for it.
Is this a dive at 19 minutes?
Yeah, Celery goes in maybe a little bit too deep. Does Cogs push forward 33 into the rest of the enemy team? The Burning Barrage trying to burn him down. They do manage to get that kill, but Nisha's back into it. They get a surge over to Ace to get him out of that slow. And with Mickey back up, Gaimin Gladiators will respect that high ground, though they weren't respecting it 20 seconds ago, that's for sure.
I mean, it shows you how much they believe in their aura timing right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And honestly, it's kind of working. They're getting kills out of it. They're not giving too much up. They're just going straight back in.
Again.
I mean, he can't afford to die on his side of the map like this multiple times.
Into split stun. The Thunder goes off early. They get a Nightmare, but it doesn't save him. There is no saving anybody with this kind of 4-man just ball that's running at you, rolling over heroes. 3 kills for them in short succession.
These are not the fights Liquid wants to be involved in. You're looking at a Darkseer skirmish lineup that's going to bring numbers and just try and run you over. You get caught out like this on the map, it's a death sentence. Like, where's the split push action? Where's the pressure on the lanes? Where is anything that's going to try and force Gaimin to split up on the map so that they don't get these kind of fights? It feels like Liquid are just running straight into it.
They're going to take your Tormentor.
Like, you don't have any of these big auras to take the full 5-on-5.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
I guarantee you right now, Ace, he has a Greaves, he has a pipe.
And it's up.
When this man sees Liquid run into him, he's the happiest man in this tournament right now. Please.
Gaimin Gladiators.
Come fight me.
They've been doing pretty well for themselves in this group stage. Bit of a return to form for them, but Liquid, this game specifically, very important because they still are in a position where they could get into the top 2 of their group if they win this game and then go up against PSG Quest on the final day. Hookshot goes in, leading off. Immediate Fiend's Grip, though. Not in time for the Cogs. Insania's still going to be in some trouble. Nice Vacuum on a 3, but no wall this time around.
No wall.
So the wall finally goes out, but it is not enough to get any kills out of this. Slardar's going to die, as well as the Clockwork. These melee heroes, if they push too far forward and they do not break Liquid, Liquid is always going to be able to clean up those supports.
And finally, Liquid responding accordingly. Bringing the numbers, setting themselves up to take that defensive fight where Gaimin extend and they get the punish. And these fights can look fine for them if they bring everybody, but you have to be ready for it. You can't just bleed out kills to start. It's a real threat right now on the map. Dyrachyo, he has 12 extra charges on that Deso. He got the Grove Bow. So everything has been going his way in this game. Quietly been having a very good one. He's a big pickoff threat.
Under attack.
Yeah, whenever you're keeping up with the Terrorblade, I feel like it's a good sign. You know, this hero's supposed to be kind of ahead of you, just because of all the illusion spam he can do.
And I wonder if Mickey's just been too afraid to push these lanes super deep because of the pick-off potential. I don't think the Klinx is necessarily threatening him, but you could just shell a clock, TP him somewhere, the Klinx is on top of you, and you know, this 1 or 2 hero combination might be enough to dissuade him going super deep on the map. The aggressive vision also hasn't been too consistent for Liquid this game, as they've had issues in the early game, so yeah, they see some stuff, but
Tofu, oh, he's gonna get it too late.
And again, like, we're looking at Mickey, he's just in his base, right? Like, this heat map, I don't think he's getting to create the lane pressure he wants to right now.
Yeah.
And Terrorblade on the back foot is very different than Terrorblade when he can force enemies to respond to him. When he's pushing in your bottom lane with illusions and kind of playing like this Naga Siren and forcing a hero back or threatening your tier 2. That's the value of the hero in this lineup. So Liquid need to find a way to get Mickey to where he can start creating those pressure points, because right now Gaimin just 5-manning and they're not really getting punished on the map for the 5-man shenanigans. Here's a Roshan that commits 5 heroes to it and you're getting your Ancient stolen, and that's pretty much it. They're not losing much for these plays. And they're just going to keep grouping. Like, they don't have much incentive to split up a lot in this game other than, you know, create the 2 or 3-man hit squad, let Ace push in some lanes and regroup somewhere. Can they go high ground super early here? Potentially. Like, they have Lesh with Edict, they have the Deso Klinx. They don't have the worst siege mechanism, and the high ground defense for Liquid is not necessarily the best, so you also can't afford to slip up on your side of the map here if you're Liquid. If you lose a fight outside your base, it's gonna disappear.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Blink for Ace, that is a terrifying item right now. Because you have double initiation supports that can easily force a clump out of Liquid that sets that huge back wall up. They're just going to start laying into the towers here. Not a lot to dissuade this. Leshrac Shard will also help this push.
Again, no pressure on the side lanes, really, from the Terrorblade, so nothing is going to get Gaimin Gladiators out of here. It's going to be Liquid having to take the fight here.
Oh, he got
There's
them
the
all.
vacuum! What
See you later.
a beauty! Mwah! Just perfect stuff from Gaimin Gladiators. Make it look easy, man. And all of a sudden, it just looks like maybe the game's over.
Yeah, that's it. Like,
It's done.
It's just not a game you can afford to make mistakes like that. It felt like we just saw it coming and they just gave it to him.
Yeah.
Like, you can't clump when this Darkseer has the turnaround capability. And man, that left shard did work there. Like, that is such a nice pickup from Quinn.
They'll get the support pickoffs before the cores are back up into play.
Oh, backdoor.
Box did have the buyback, and yeah, backdoor protection actually comes up. The creep wave is a little bit slow here. They'll get the dieback on Boxy, though. Now the backdoor protection is about to go down again. Where's that creep wave? Oh, got drug around by the Enchantress. The Enchantress is dragging the creep wave around. Oh, no!
No, it was the Courier, right?
Was it?
33 Courier drag?
A 33 Courier drag, but the cores come back to defend and they just die right away.
I mean, yeah, what are you doing here, right?
Okay. They give themselves a chance, and his team fights are just way too hard for them.
I don't like how Liquid played that.